card. What's this?
Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Detectives for History. In this episode, we will dive into the history of one of the most famous outlaws in the Wild Wild West, Jesse James. Brought to you by Mustafa.
Jesse Woodson James was born on September 5th, 1847, in Clay County, or present-day Keene, which is located in the state of Missouri. His family was known for having slaves, and his father moved to California to minister during the gold rush. He died when Jesse Woodson James was only 3 years old. Other than that, we do not really know much, and that is why we have Detective Kwame on the case.
Interesting.
Hello, Detective Kwame.
Hello, sir. How are you doing this afternoon?
Good. So, I called you earlier today.
Right, you're Eric James, right?
Yes. Earlier today, I was cleaning up some litter in a yard, and I came across this poster, and I believe it's a wanted poster. Can you tell me about it?
Wow. The age on it is amazing. Well, me personally, I don't know much on Jesse James, the famous outlaw, but I know exactly who to take you to.
Who's that?
His name is Professor Antonio.
Who is it?
Oh,
it's
my great friend, Antonio.
What brings you here, my friend?
Well, Antonio, a friend of mine has a problem.
What is that problem?
And any friend of mine is a friend of yours.
Mm-hmm.
So this friend brought me this, a wanted ad for Jesse James.
How curious.
Yes, and he believes that this could be his ancestor. And my great knowledge of your great knowledge of the knowledge of Jesse James is very wide, so I said, who better to bring this to than Antonio?
I'm glad you asked. Now, what exactly would you like to know about Jesse James?
First of all, I would like to know who Jesse James was.
According to this, Jesse Woodson James was a famous outlaw of the Wild West, if not the famous outlaw of the Wild West.
So he was an outlaw. So what kind of
Yes.
crimes did he commit?
Well, for one, he was a gang leader, and for another, he was a bank robber, and a train robber, and a murderer, and a member of the James Younger gang.
Was he ever captured?
No, but he was murdered.
Oh, how and when did he die?
He was murdered by his own gang members, Charlie and Robert Ford.
Robert Ford?
Yes, Robert Ford.
My goodness, this is a lot to take in. What was his life in his early days?
He joined the Civil War at age 16 on the Confederate side.
Oh, so he was a Confederate member. What battles did he fight in?
Although it's not clear, it is suggested that he participated in the Battle of Bull Run.
So after he left the Civil War, what made him want to start doing crimes?
He, along with many other people, when they returned home, they found that there were pretty much were no jobs, so they resorted to crime to support themselves. And Jesse James in particular, along with his brother, they resorted to crime to support themselves and to fund another civil war against the North.
What? He wanted another Civil War?
Yes, another
after
civil
what
war.
happened before?
Yes.
Amazing. Well, thank you, Antonio. With the information I know now, I will take this back to Eric James, and this is the beginning of a new exploration. We will find what we can find. Thank you, sir. Bring it. Okay, thank you, sir.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Antonio, one more question. Did Jesse James have any descendants?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Through further investigation done by Detective Kwame, we have found many more facts. The fall of the James Younger gang occurred after the failure of a bank robbery where all members except Frank and Jesse James were either killed or captured. They later hired new recruits and began a new crime spree. Jesse eventually grew paranoid and trusted no one except his brother and the Ford brothers. Robert Ford then shot Jesse James after he was invited to stay at his house. Robert Ford shot him in the back of the head while Jesse was cleaning a picture. James' wife came into the room yelling, "You've killed him!" His next response was like a 5-year-old. "I swear to God I didn't," even though he was right above the body.
Hello, sir. Thank you, Mr. James, for waiting. Thank you, Mr. James.
Hello, Detective Kwame.
Well, Mr. James, I have found out a lot, and I'm grateful to pass down my information on Jesse James to you. Professor Antonio has given me much information about the wanted ad, and even a lot of information about Jesse James that I didn't know.
Really?
Yes.
Wow. It's so much. And did you find out if I'm a descendant?
Well, he was believed to have children, so who knows? I think you should begin your research and start looking deeper. I think you'll be satisfied with what you find.
Okay. Well, thank you very much. This has helped me a lot. I never thought I could learn this much. I can never thank you enough.
Oh, no problem, sir.